Okay, so on Psychology Today, something just really stood out to me, okay? It's an article. It says, when spiritual crisis shows up in the mental health system, spiritual emergencies require understanding from mental health professionals. Okay, tell me why that this stupid fucking article, okay, it says, as defined by Stanislav Grof in 1989, a spiritual emergency is a process involving experiences of extrasensory perception. Isn't that clairsentience? Disorganized behavior and unusual or illogical thoughts and beliefs containing strong spiritual content. So you're telling me that it's a mental disorder for somebody to believe spiritually? I call bullshit. These troubling presentations can occur when spiritual experiences are not well integrated or progress too quickly, resulting in psychological difficulties. Yeah, if you're not doing it the right way and you're just like slamming everything in all together. These vast majority of spiritual experiences are not problematic. Practices such as meditation, yoga, tai chi, qigong, and psychedelic drug use have long been a part of spiritual and mystical practices in Asia and indigenous cultures. These techniques are intended to induce spiritual awakening and expansion of awareness. Spiritual awakening and an expansion of your awareness, called spiritual emergence, okay? A life-changing aspect of human development through which we seek meaning and connection beyond our personal identities. Risks with spiritual emergence. People are increasingly using these traditional spiritual practices for stress relief or exercise. Stress relief. What is so wrong with that? Do you want us to be so fucking stressful we can't fucking get up in the morning? However, the average person who engages in these practices might not be aware of the risks involved. When spiritual emergence occurs, it can cause distress or even a spiritual emergency due to the confusion that comes with the lack of context for these practices. Yeah, if you're misinformed and you don't know what the fuck to follow, like, I don't know, Christianity, respectfully. Many mental health practitioners may identify as atheists or agnostics with no religious or spiritual background. So wait, you're telling me that because they don't identify with no spiritual background, it's all of a sudden bad? That makes absolutely fucking no sense. However, 89% of the U.S. general public reported having some form of religious or spiritual belief. When spirituality intersects with modern mental health models, clients may be left with inadequate support or negatively affected by the treatment experience. Anna describes her experience of being unaccepted by spiritual beliefs. I can feel that. She was like, I was fraught with anxiety for most of my life. I learned meditation and it helped. It was a cat. I had expansive experiences of bliss, peace, and contentment. With the oneness experience, I also sensed that flowers, trees, objects were alive and talking to me. Although I had trouble sleeping, I felt happy, with new sense of purpose. When I told my family about my experiences, they had me hospitalized, drugged, and I was diagnosed with manic psychotic episodes. So because she could actually feel the vibrations or the energy from these trees, that is true. The Native Americans do it all the time. Like, they had her drugged and was diagnosed with a fucking mental disorder from her being peaceful. What the fuck? Kylie Harris, an independent psychology researcher, writes and shares her views on mental health and spirituality. When people go through these experiences, they may appear chaotic despite the situation being symbolically meaning to them. People in their spiritual emergencies need the space to explore the meaning of their experiences without judgment or being told that they need to be institutionalized and medicated. This is very different from typical psychosis, in which a positive exploratory attitude, insight into one's experience, and significant meaning for one's life are usually not considered. Interpretations by either psychiatric professionals or spiritual leaders can lead to a psychiatric diagnosis, or conversely, a desire to explore the hidden meanings of life. So pretty much, if you're fucking misled by a religion, then yes, it can cause manic episodes, but like with you exploring it on your own and educating yourselves, wow, that said everything to me. In some traditional communities, people experiencing spiritual emergencies are taken to a shaman or priest who gives context to their experiences and helps them integrate them. Yes, that's what they're supposed to do. Often they are removed from others for a period of time and then return when they have fully integrated these experiences. I don't know. How about space? How about just having time to yourself so you can siphon through everything? Like, that's what those experiences are for. You're not supposed to just trust what anybody else says. says indigenous cultures treat these experiences as a calling for individuals to become a healer of a shaman. In traditional indigenous cultures, these individuals are revered rather than pathologized as the norm in Western culture. Spiritual emergencies can happen to theists, atheists, and agnostics. Like, I mean, there's a need for cultural, spiritual, and religious competency in mental health practitioners. So meaning they need to be more understanding and take people's religious beliefs into consideration. Because not everybody is the same. You can't just diagnose one person based on what somebody else or billions of other people had. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it says in traditional societies, people who have had these spiritual emergency experiences do much better with community support in spiritual and religious contexts that better understand and support these experiences. Mental health professionals need to know the role that religious and spiritual beliefs practices play in their clients' lives and how to identify and help their clients handle these challenging experiences. I mean, what in the fuck? So you want us to believe in Jesus, but like if we find a different way, it's wrong? That literally just proved that. It did. It proved all of that. It proved, oh, well, if you don't follow Jesus, then you're fucking crazy. That's fucking wrong. An infringement of rights at that case. Oh, you're doing like how they did back in the old days, and they're locking them up in mental asylums and saying that you're fucking crazy and medicating people, when really, in all factuality, they're just really tapped in to source. So fuck you, Psychology Today. That's what I have to say. And you fucking, the ones that don't have any understanding.